Hi everyone, I'm David Wojcik and this is MBOT TV. Stories we covered this week: dragons are spotted in Mississauga. MBOT celebrates 97 years with Hurricane Hazel McCallion. A message from the new 2018 chair of the Mississauga Board of Trade. New Minister of Economic Development addresses MBOT, and our weekly political update with Brad Butt, who has news on a naming of an interim councillor for Ward 1, more news on NAFTA, TPP, and a red tape reduction website for the hospitality industry. Welcome to MBOT TV, a weekly recap of what happened in business at the Mississauga Board of Trade and around the city of Mississauga. The Mississauga Board of Trade celebrated former Mayor Hurricane Hazel McCallion's 97th birthday at the monthly Good Morning Mississauga networking event. The event was held at Sheridan College's campus, which is named after the former mayor. Hazel also is the chancellor of the college. Hazel was in true anecdotal form, never missing a beat. Her remarks included praise for MBOT, of which she has been a continued supporter.
I just want to say thank you to the Board of Trade. I'm behind you all the way, and anything I can do to spread the great news of the great work that the Board of Trade does.
The new chair of the Mississauga Board of Trade was elected at the annual general meeting in December. We asked the new chair what his vision is for 2018.
My personal mandate for 2018 as the chair of the Mississauga Board of Trade is really for us to continue with the growth. We put a lot of structure in place to support the staff at MBOT in 2017. So our goal this year is really to see that go into fruition. We want to make sure we continue with our policy and our advocacy to support that side of it. We want to continue to give back to what our membership needs. Make sure we listen to them, help them grow, and help ourselves in turn grow with our membership as well too. So it really is a year of looking at growth, both from our connection and both from our policy angles as well.
The Honorable Stephen Del Duca, who was recently appointed as the Minister of Economic Development and Growth, addressed MBOT. The minister was extremely positive in light of recent job loss numbers from StatsCan.
And I know that some of you, the very employers who have dug down deep and made the decisions and made the investments and taken the risks to build a strong and resilient economy, I know that some of you are finding it hard, particularly in businesses where the margins are tight. Well, I want you to know that our government did weigh all of its options, and we weighed those carefully. This is not something that we did lightly, but we thought it was important for more people to participate, and more people participating more fully in Ontario's economy. And at the end of the day, I think that we can all agree that it matters. It matters that an honest day's work here in the province of Ontario deserves an honest, fair, and decent day's pay.
Red Dragons infiltrated the Great Hall of the city as we welcomed in the Chinese New Year of the Dog. Anyone born in an Earth Dog year will be communicative, serious, and responsible in the workplace. MBOT's annual business directory is gearing up for its 2018 edition. This directory is distributed to thousands of businesses in Mississauga and is a one-stop source to find suppliers. Don't miss your opportunity to elevate your brand. And now for our political update with Director of Government Relations, Brad Butt.
Well, thanks, David. Mississauga City Council has appointed former councillor Dave Cook to the Ward 1 position, succeeding the late Jim Tovey. Councillor Cook's appointment will go to November 30th, 2018. We look forward to working with him and the Mayor and Council going forward. The City of Mississauga will introduce a 4% municipal accommodation tax effective April 1st. Council approved the new tax, which will apply to stays for a continuous period of 30 days or less in a motel, hotel, lodge, inn, bed and breakfast, dwelling unit, or any other place that provides accommodation. Online private short-term rentals such as Airbnb and Home Away will also be subject to the MAT starting April 1st. The Mississauga Economic Development Office, along with the Canadian Manufacturers and Exporters, held the first Advanced Manufacturing Day for post-secondary youth on February 20th. A number of MBOT members participated, encouraging attendees to consider a career in the skilled trades. Several more are planned over the next few months. The New City Mississauga Business Directory is now available. Simply go to the website noted here to access the database. The Mississauga Board of Trade and the Brampton Board of Trade have been retained by Metrolinx to provide business learning and awareness programs for businesses affected by the future construction of the Hurontario LRT. Between April and September of 2018, we will be running a number of seminars and events to support the local business community. Details will be out shortly. The Region of Peel continues its review of the Retail Business Holidays Act with a goal of a report back to Council by June of this year. Municipalities may now allow businesses to open on any day of the year, but must maintain at least one statutory holiday within the year. The Premier was off to Washington again last week, meeting with U.S. governors to champion NAFTA and trade relations between Ontario and the United States. At the same time, however, her government introduced legislation last week to combat the Buy America provisions in the U.S. The Fairness in Procurement Act would give Ontario the flexibility to choose whether and how to respond to discriminatory actions by creating regulations to address those actions. The responsive regulations, if made, would be pursued when a U.S. subnational jurisdiction enacts legislation or adopts an unfair discriminatory policy. These regulations would be designed to be in proportion to restrictions made by public sector purchasers in the opposing U.S. jurisdiction. While chambers of commerce are concerned that this might escalate trade tensions between Ontario and the United States, and urges caution, particularly at this sensitive time of NAFTA renegotiation. Last Friday, MBOT, along with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, hosted a roundtable with Minister and Mississauga MPP Deepika Demirla, sponsored by the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board. We greatly appreciate the Minister's time and thoughtful participation in the meeting. Members raised issues around trade, Bill 148, transit and transportation, and regulations during the consultation. While the province has banned door-to-door sales of certain household appliances effective March 1st as a consumer protection measure. In the past, these tactics have come under attack by consumers feeling they were pressured into bad contracts. Ontario has launched red tape reduction consultations for the tourism sector. To participate in this review, please go to the link on your screen. The consultation lasts until March 31st. The provincial government and the Ontario Chamber of Commerce recently announced the creation of Small Business Access, a one-stop shop for small business in Ontario. To get access to the site and learn more, please go to the website noted on your screen. Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau will present his 2018 budget on February 27th. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce has stated, and I quote, "We regularly hear from businesses that the rising cost of running a business in Canada and the uncertainty caused by potential tax changes to the tax system are having a negative impact on their ability to grow, to create jobs, and to compete for investment and customers both at home and abroad. The Canadian Chamber looks forward to the federal budget to see what concrete steps the government will take to address these concerns." End quote. On February 20th, International Trade Minister François-Philippe Champagne announced that the CPTPP has been published. This comprehensive and progressive agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership represents 495 million people, with a combined gross domestic product of more than 13.5 trillion Canadian dollars, a full 13.5% of global GDP. Through the CPTPP, Canada will soon have preferential access to 500 million consumers in the world's most dynamic and fast-growing market, a move that will strengthen Canadian businesses, grow the economy, and create more well-paying jobs for middle-class Canadians. This agreement covers 11 jurisdictions in the Pacific region. The final agreement will be signed in Chile on March the 8th. The Mississauga Board of Trade has been selected through the Canadian Chamber of Commerce to participate in the Climate Smart Chambers program to enroll local businesses to participate in the program for a heavily discounted rate. Details of the program will be released shortly, and members interested in working to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, improve energy efficiency, and reduce your carbon footprint are encouraged to apply. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Brad. Would you like to see your business advertised to hundreds of MBOT members every week right here in this banner? Email Sonia Oja or Hilary Jewer for details and elevate your brand today. And here's what's coming up at your Mississauga Board of Trade. On February 28th, NGen, the Under 40 Networking Group, gathers for a social mixer at Scatabush Square 1. Join this energetic group of future business leaders and start developing those all-important professional relationships. On March 2nd, in collaboration with the Mississauga Chinese Business Association, MBOT presents a seminar on doing business in China. Come and learn how to export and trade with this billion-dollar partner. On March 6th, come discover South Africa with your colleagues from MBOT. An information session on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure to South Africa. 11 days with an optional 3 days in Dubai. Space is limited. On March 7th, Membership Matters is at MBOT, a session for new members to discover all the great benefits that your Mississauga Board of Trade has to offer. Seasoned members are always welcome to stop by for a refresher. And on March 8th, MBOT celebrates International Women's Day with an intimate mixer at the MBOT office. On March 14th, Good Morning Mississauga is at PAF BMW. Come out and experience a luxury car while networking. Book a speaker spot. Where else can you make over 100 cold calls in just 2 minutes? And don't forget to save the date for our upcoming Mississauga Board of Trade annual Nine and Dine Golf Day. Details about these stories and events are available at www.mbot.com. Until next week, this is David Wojcik wishing you continued success in your business.